We did it, fam. I made it out here, and I've made a commitment this year. I am a farmer. It's happened. The dream job, living the dream, baby. This is the path to riches. Welcome and much love, Trav here. A little bit of a life update, also talking about why become a farmer, why farming matters, why it's a good choice, how you could do it if you want to do it, and share a little bit about my story of how I made it here. So, yeah, first of all, with the life update, I came out here on the 31st. I'm about a week in. I spent 3 months here in 2017. I spent a week here in 2015. And I started doing farm volunteer and garden stuff in earnest. I really started that in 2015. And it's been kind of a long journey-ish to get here, but it feels great. I'm really happy about it. I feel like this is my new path, and not just this farm, but agriculture and food. And I'm looking ahead at this year, and the sorts of travel that I'm going to do is mostly going to be agriculture based. I'm looking at going to Coahuila in Panama in the second half of this year, possibly looking at some other, I'm just interested in the food. I'm interested in the food system, and we'll talk about that. But why it matters. Farmers, stewards of the land, cultivators of the soil should be our best and brightest people. We're only as healthy as our soil. The food is only as good as our soil. We're only as good as our food, right? So we're looking at the health of the nation, the health of the world. We're looking at the performance of the nation, performance of the world, performance of humanity across the world. Depends a lot on food. And food is something that we're doing a really poor job on. It's a good cause, It's a very important cause, because 98% of the food that is eaten is this industrial, subsidized, chemical, massive economy of scale that produces garbage food, which you can look at all the readings and all the tests compared to local, organic, pasture, biological, ecological systems. That's only 2%, so I want to work on that 2%. So the number one reason to be a farmer is because it's needed desperately. Smart people are needed desperately in this field. It is very fulfilling for that reason. Very, very fulfilling, because it's very needed and very helpful and very useful and very, very important and okay. A lot of y'all are thinking, Trav, dude, there's not money in farming. That's to an extent true, and one of the biggest reasons why is just regulatory, is that large scale industrial agriculture is subsidized, small scale is not. So the big guys get all this extra money, and then the little guys are trying to compete without those subsidies. So that's regulation that could change in our lifetime. It's possible not. That said, there's farmers who make bank. One of them, Joel Salatin, he has some books out, looking at him. For me, I'm lucky because I have online business, semi-passive income. It's not fully passive, I work on it, and that's fine. I like to put in time in that online, and that allows me, the money's not an issue. It's like, if I could do anything, I would do this, for now at least, because it's useful and it's helpful. So it's not necessarily for everyone, You may have to sacrifice your pay in order to do this, but you may not, and it may not be worth it. It's not for everyone. But if we want to improve the food situation, we should have more farmers, not less farmers. We should have more people growing food, not fewer people growing food. It's important, So you have time, not just become a farmer, but become a gardener, grow some plants. It wasn't that long ago, 1940s, 50% of produce was grown in backyards. Now I don't know the percentage, but it's very low, and it's sad. Hobby gardening is one of the best things you could do if you're interested in making a small difference, because it'd be so easy to grow 100% of the consumed vegetables locally. You just plant them on lawns, plant them on medians. It'd be so easy, but our culture's all fucked up. We spend less per capita on food than any culture ever. People spend so much on all this garbage stuff, say that they can't afford it, spend money on Netflix and money on weed and tobacco. I'm not even saying those things are bad necessarily, but then people want to say they can't afford good food, local food. That's has prices artificially increased because of stupid government regulations. Anyways, so you may be sacrificing to be a farmer money, but you're getting an improved lifestyle, in my opinion. This depends on the sort of farm that you have, but as a farmer, you get to work outside. You get the sunshine, you do get the rain, you can dig your feet in the soil, you get physical labor. You compare it to an office job, it's not even close over the long term. It's not even close. It's way better. You're outside, you're walking around, you just feel good. The days are good. At the end of the day, you feel good. Feel like I worked hard today physically and I did a good thing. So it's fulfilling. That's a good reason why. And there's a lot of really fun farm communities that are sprouting up everywhere. The one that I'm at, our crew is about a dozen people. Most people are young and passionate about this stuff. And there's a lot of things like this coming into being right now because the problem's being recognized. And it's kind of the new dream is escape the city and get back for the first time in something like 100 years, 50 years. The demographic of farmers is actually getting younger, not older, with new young people coming in. So there's a lot of cool places. You can go look if you want to be involved. Go look at local community gardens. They're sprouting up in every city. They have volunteer days on Fridays or Wednesdays or Saturdays or whatever, and see who's there. That's how I got into it. Walked past the community garden in Arcata and walked into that. Yeah, we'll talk about my path a little bit later on, but just still want to talk about why it's a good thing to do. Well, I think that I've explained that. I think y'all understand that. So how did I end up here? I'm from the city of Seattle, like in the city, and we had a backyard, did some vegetable gardening, and that was cool, but I never considered farming as something that I would do. It's not like I ruled it out. I just never even considered it. I'd never met a farmer, never met a farmer and a food farmer, organic produce farmer. I never met a farmer. So I never considered it as a real thing that I could do. I didn't even become aware that it was a profession until the last 5 years. Really, it just never crossed my mind as a possibility. So I wanted to do something different. I wanted to be an entrepreneur, have my own small business. Farming is a way to do that as well. Work for a small business. That's kind of part of the entrepreneurial agrarian dream found in this country. Everyone wanted to be a farmer. Everybody's wanted to be a farmer. It was only until all the land was taken that people couldn't do it. If farming paid well, it would be the most desirable profession. What would not be to like? You're outside, you're hanging out with animals, you're growing good food, and you're paid well, right? So, anyways, so my escape was like through Magic the Gathering tournaments. That would be super unlikely as well. It's kind of absurd that was my way out. But that let me travel around, and it gave me freedom of location. It also gave me a lot of freedom of time because I wasn't necessarily after the money, but the jobs that I've had in Magic have left me with a lot of free time. Never been a full-time job. So I've got to try out other lifestyles, Went and played basketball on a team in Spain. Like, do I want to pursue professional sports? Well, this is okay. Went to England and Mexico and stayed in surf hostels for 6-7 months. Is this what I want to do? Do I want to be a surf bum? This is okay. Tried out some other things. Do I want to be a streamer, full-time streamer, and just work out in between. Didn't really like that. When I came back, there's certain paths, but when I came back from traveling Europe for the second, third time to California, I found Tai Lopez. Tai Lopez really intrigued me that he had done all this farm work, and that was part of it, but I was just looking to get more involved in the community. I wanted to improve my social life, so I walked by the community garden in 2015, and it's like, okay, I'll just go in on Wednesdays and start to volunteer. Started going in, felt very normal. Some of the other earthy individuals got invited to another volunteer at the Bayside Park Farm in Arcata and started going in there on Fridays. It's like, this is nice. I like this. Work outside, leave with some vegetables. These are my people too. The people are cool. They don't care about my dready hair too much, although some farmers do. But it's like, well, I started going in on Wednesdays, then Wednesdays and Fridays. And I'm like, this should just be a part of my life. I'm helping the local food. I'm working outside. I'm meeting and hanging out with cool people. And I'm part of this movement, and I'm learning on this and working towards something. So that was the start. And then from there, as I've been traveling, I've been interested in where the community gardens at, where the local farms at. Was in LA, where walked by community garden during volunteer hours. Boom, I'm in there. So I was lucky enough to get a plane ticket to Hawaii. Otherwise, I may not have come out here because of doing well in some magic tournaments. And then once I was out here, I was like, where are the cool farms at? I want to find the cool farms. And I was turned on to this one, Kahumana. Came out here 2016, spent a week, 2017, 3 months. In 2018, I might spend 9 months here. I'm not sure. But that's kind of how I found it. Tried the life for a week at first, and for 3 months as a seasonal thing. Is this what I want to do? And I just like the lifestyle. The days kind of go by. It's a bit of a grind at times, but it feels good, and it's not perfect. There's some problems, but I look at the day factor. The days are good. I look at the fulfillment factor. I feel good at the end of the days. I look at my social life. I'm not on the phone too much out here. There's fun things to do with real people. And the landscape is fucking beautiful. There's lots of work to be done. I just don't need to be on the news feed. There's no, I want to be producing and sharing through the internet, but there's no reason to. So I tried it for a week. I was like, this is dope. I want to come back. I tried it for 3 months, and I'm like, this is actually a somewhat sustainable lifestyle for me, especially with my internet business. And I feel bad for the other farmers who don't have that, because a lot of them are like, well, I have to choose to be poor, or if I'm ambitious, I need to get out of here, So, but for me, it's like, this can actually work. So at that point, I didn't want to leave, but I had the Magic the Gathering Pro Tour I had to choose between. And my decision was, why don't I alternate 3 months? 3 months on the farm, 3 months on the Pro Tour, 3 months on the farm, 3 months on the Pro Tour. Fortunately, got suspended from the Pro Tour for the Magic for Bad, a meme shitposting troll group, which I'm not at all mad about, because it let me come back here earlier and kind of focus my path on what I want to do. So I'm back. I'm back, and it feels good. And that's kind of how I've become a farmer. So my plan for the year, couple things. Well, I still have obligations in my online business, keep that going, but be a grunt mule out here on the farm and learn as much as I can. I'm starting, there's no agricultural library out here, so I'm starting that out here. I ordered about a dozen books, brought a couple out here, reading heavily, because if I'm gonna do anything, I'm gonna take it seriously. And I'm getting a vehicle today, possibly this weekend. That'll allow me to tour some other farms on the island, looking at trips to Maui, the Big Island, some other possibilities of look at some agriculture projects, and looking ahead to Kaliyala as something that could actually happen, this sustainable village in a outside of Panama City in a valley. And yeah, that looks affordable for me and like something I would actually do. So very exciting. Follow along with me. There may be a shift in my content where I talk more about food, I talk more about local food, I talk more about farming, because agriculture, because that's kind of where my interest lies right now. So that may happen, and I hope that you like that. I'll try to pull out as much as I can and make it more general. But that's the bulk of what my learning is going to be on for the immediate future. Not necessarily forever. I go through phases, but that's where I'm at. That's why I've become a farmer. What the plan is for me, you can expect. So shout out to all the farmers, all the cultivators of the earth, the food growers. We appreciate you. We need you. Thank you all. Much love, and look forward to speaking with you soon. Peace out.